Duck Lead taking the team in on Operation Duck as we infiltrate the establishment to free the ducks. We have three teams: Team Dewey, Team Huey, Team Louie. Team Dewey with Duck Lead, and Huey and Louie are taking up flanking positions. Hustle up, Dewey. It's time to get into position. Look at all the lovely ducks. Lovely ducks. We'll have them free in no time. Oh my God, we're freeing the ducks. There's Huey 6. That was Huey 6 freeing the duck. Duck Lead's looking for the machine. He's trying to turn off the machine. And here we have the brave members of Duck Squad are anchoring themselves to the duck machine. I'm struggling. I can't get. I'm beside Sonia. I don't want to be beside Sonia. Oh no, sorry, that's not Sonia. That's Dewey 3. I need to be beside Dewey 4. I can't be beside Sonia. Dewey 3. Oh my God, the execution zone. Look, covered in blood. What's that? Oh my goodness, we have members anchored to the execution line, and it's been turned on. It's starting to drag them slowly to their death. Good grief. And Dewey 6 is compromised. Dewey 6 is very compromised. His legs are too short. He cannot reach the ground. He is being asphyxiated. Hey, look, and the man's turning purple. Good grief, stop the machine. Duck leader, free him. Good grief, man, get the keys. The ducks are going frantic. Look at them, they're perplexed. They don't know what's going on. Yes, we know it's key 8. For God's sake, Duck leader, get a grip. This is meant to be your operation. Get a grip, free your man, free the ducks. What is going on here? You need to take control. This is all about duck freedom. Dewey 6, how are you going to live?
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, hearts full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop off. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss. So I'ma do what I want to. Something I can't undo. Yeah, I'ma do what I want to. Something I can't undo. I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me?
It is Friday, the 3rd of February, 2023, and this is
All in! You're not springing a propaganda watching me, you bonkers buffoon, you.
How you doing, John?
I'm doing well, Ben. How are you, mate?
Yes, doing very, very, very good.
So
I'm feeling much better.
That was the new intro. You wanted it longer, you got it longer.
Well, yes, thank you for doing that, John, and thank you for the love in the commentary there, in the chat. Thank you for welcoming me back there, Dawn and Dean. Hello there, Jay. Hello there, Trudy. Hello there, Beach Crates. Hello there, Harold, and anybody else that's coming on in. It is great to see you all this Friday night. And yeah, I am better. I am back. We are ready to roll and laugh. And where should we start?
Well, let's start with the competition.
The competition?
Yeah. You remember the competition to replace you?
Yeah. Let's start with that.
So we're going to replace Ben.
For one night only.
One
night only.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So we're going to replace Ben on a Friday night all in because he's going to be indisposed. He's going to be otherwise engaged filming for another channel.
I am, yes.
Another channel.
I'm filming 10 videos in 3 days for the other channel.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, we're going to replace Ben. So we're going to have a competition to see who wants to replace him. And here's a thought. I just had a thought. Name or send us the movies that were referenced in that clip.
Oh, but when there quite a few.
Oh, there were quite a few.
I'm just Trudy says I'm not entering as I'd be absolutely shit. I disagree.
Well, you know, we all were when we started. I mean, Ben and I were pretty crap, to be fair.
I used to stare at the camera going, what do I do here? What do
we
I
all
say?
did. We all did.
But once again, boys and girls, before we really do get into it, I'm seeing more viewers than I am likes, and I am going to get the fucking boys on speed dial. I'm going to get
first. You swore first.
I said fucking. I didn't. I purposely. Artifacting Reality says, did Ben start an OnlyFans?
No.
Not yet.
It's our channel. I mean, we both put material on it. It's shared between us.
Yeah.
Well, this one's my channel. The other one's Ben's wife's channel. Is that right, Ben?
Yes. Yeah. Technically speaking, but the OnlyFans, the rumors of me starting an OnlyFans are rumors that I made myself today on Twitter, and I can tell you are absolutely true. Anyway, let's move on.
Jay says he missed the clip. Well, that doesn't matter because you can watch it back anytime.
Rewind.
Or replay. You know, there's no problem, and it's there. And like all the other clips, I'll probably put it up as a individual clip as well and add it to the music playlist that we have. Did you know we had a music playlist with all our different clips?
I did. I knew that. I'll tell you what playlist we don't have, John.
What playlist don't we have, Ben?
A propaganda watch playlist, John. We don't have a propaganda.
We don't have a propaganda. Well, we've got a week in review playlist, and we've never done a week in review.
I know.
I think we've got an omnibus playlist, and we do an omnibus.
We do, yeah. It's like EastEnders, but better.
Much better.
Much better. Yeah.
No, they weren't 70s. They weren't all 70s movies.
Were they not?
No, they weren't all. No, of course they weren't. Somewhere 2010 releases.
I did my hair. I don't know if you can tell. I think you probably can, but I've done my hair again today.
Yeah, it's looking lovely.
It is.
Meatloaf.
Yeah.
Ozzy Osbourne-ish.
Yeah, he's fucked, isn't he?
Is he? What's happened with Ozzy?
Ozzy Osbourne's retired from touring a couple of days ago.
Oh, just a couple of days ago, really?
Just a couple of days ago.
He'd been retired for years.
No, just a couple of days ago.
I know he was. Was he not suffering from kind of dementia or something like that?
I believe it was Parkinson's.
Right. Okay.
But he's just retired from touring, just a couple of days ago. Yes, and they've got a load of European tour dates. And what because they've got a load of European tour dates, and what they're doing is they've got a load of European tour dates, and what they're doing is they've got a load of European tour dates, and what they're doing is they've got a load of European tour dates, and what they're doing is they've got a load of European tour dates, and what they're doing is they've got a load of European tour dates, and what they're doing is they've got a load of European tour dates, and what they're doing is they've got a load of European tour dates, and what they're doing is they've got a load of European tour dates, and what they're doing is they've got a load of European tour dates, and what they're doing is they've got a load of European tour dates, and what they're doing is they've got a load of European tour dates, and what they're doing is they've got a load of European tour dates, and what that people have been holding on to tickets for years because he's been trying to battle through his illness. He's now not able to do those tour dates, and therefore he's. I will say that what he's doing is he's trying to find a way so that he can perform near home and everybody can come to him. He doesn't want to stop performing. He just wants to stop touring.
Yeah, well, okay, I can understand that.
So basically, everybody that wants to see Ozzy live is going to have to go to Birmingham.
What did Don hear? I heard that, John. What did you hear?
Well, I don't know.
What did I say? I didn't think I said anything controversial.
We never do.
Never.
Never.
So we changed the thumbnail at short notice, didn't we?
Ah, yes, and if people might see, we are also live on Twitter. And if you're watching us on Twitter, we can't see you can't get in the chat, unfortunately. However, what you could do is click that retweet button. We would really, really appreciate that, because the more retweets we get, the more possibility that some ads might appear under there. Because what's happened today, John?
Well, apparently Elon Musk has monetized Twitter for those that have a blue tick. Imagine that. And after the last
no.
After the last month or so, well, a verified blue tick.
Only for people who subscribe to Twitter Blue.
Yeah. What does that mean? Twitter Blue verified.
That means people who are paying the $8 a month, not the legacy verified.
Yeah, right. So after taking a number of derisory comments about being a blue tick and being some sort of shill or whatever for the last 6 weeks, it's now come to pass that there's a reason why we do it.
There is a reason why we do it, and
we knew this was coming.
Do you know what? Somebody actually had a go at me the other day on Twitter.
Yeah.
Because I have the blue tick.
Oh,
right?
They do it all the time. I just mute them or block them. I usually mute them so as they scream into the abyss.
But I would, if I had the choice not to have the tick, just to stop the patheticness, and it is patheticness, I would choose not to have the tick. The reason I pay for Twitter Blue is because I can have 10-minute and soon to be 1 hour 1080p video uploads as a video creator.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I get that option.
That was the whole reason why we took it.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything to do with, and the fact that we suspected it was going to be monetized. In fact, we had a good, we didn't just suspect, we kind of knew it was going to be monetized at some point.
Yeah.
It's happened quicker than we thought, to be fair.
Yeah. So, but still, the point is, the other thing that I pay for is algorithmic boost.
Yeah.
So,
how's that working out?
It's not. It's not. And this is the reason why somebody actually had a go at me on Twitter, right? Because I put out a tweet and said, as somebody who subscribes and pays for this service, Twitter Blue, which was a promised algorithmic boost, it actually appears the service that we are getting is the absolute opposite. And therefore, should we not, as is this not a breach of contract? First of all,
get a refund.
I don't even want a refund, right? What I want is the service rendered for free for the amount of time that the service was not rendered.
That's a good point. So let's pause for a second.
Go on, pour.
Oh, you bastard. Okay, that's enough. That's enough ASMR for the day. Okay, as you can see, I'm not a German beer pourer.
No, he's definitely not. He's definitely not.
Apart from the slight disagreement I had there. That was... Oh.
So, I will say this one time and one time only, and I'll say it loud and clear. I am, as a video creator, going to put myself in a position where I can make and create better videos. Doesn't matter what platform it's on, we pay for Rumble. Don't we, John?
Yeah, we do. We pay for Rumble.
We pay
Not
for
happy
Rumble.
about it, because they don't give us a very good service either.
No, they don't. But we pay for Rumble and we pay for Twitter Blue for the reason that we can have better video uploads and better video quality. And if people don't like that...
Stay off the table when you're pointing.
Okay. And if people don't like that, I'm not sorry, because it's not up to you what kind of content we create and where we put it out. And people said, "Oh, I'm shitting." I was told I was shitting all over people that supported me, and I'm like, "What?" Because I want to put out better content. Are you people nuts?
I don't really get that. How does that
I
work?
don't either. Well, I don't either. But that's what I've had to. Sean Fennessy says, "Rarely see your posts on Twitter, so you're due pounds back."
Yeah, I think we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got 235 followers.
I got 10,500.
I had 5,000 before I got banned.
Mm?
I mean,
But I've got
235 235 followers.
I've got 10,500 followers, and they don't see my posts.
And it hasn't grown since I bought Twitter Blue.
Well,
although it did grow by one today, didn't it?
Yeah, we both got followed by Neil Oliver.
Good old Neil. Hope you're watching, mate. Hope you're watching. Hope you want to come on the show. Now, there are ways and means of doing it. We do an afternoon show, which is a lot less robust than this one, shall we say. This is our kind of wild Friday night. You know, we're drinking, we're swearing, we're having a good laugh. But the afternoon shows are more, they're still entertainment, they're still humorous, but they're toned down to a degree for a more discerning audience. And we could slot you in the afternoon, we could slot you in the evening, we could slot you in any damn time that you want, because you're the star. And we would accommodate you if you would give us the opportunity.
What he said.
Yeah.
What he said. So yeah, anyway, Twitter Blue, I will continue to use it because it is hopefully going to be the service that it promises to be, which is going to help us grow what we do. Yeah. Sorry. Yes. So Artifacting Reality. I present the show and I watch the show. I'm actually watching the show in 2 different places and watching the live thing so that I can watch your comments. It's
yeah, I'm watching it 3.
Yeah.
I've got our internal messaging service. I've got OBS, which is putting the stream out, and then I've got YouTube just to make sure that.
Well, yeah, I've got the free.
Yeah,
I've got the free. I've got Rumble, I've got YouTube, and I've got the internal messaging service.
Yep.
Right. So we're watching. Jay Franklin says you deserve more viewers. Yes, we do, and that's why you people come. That's why you people come into play.
Share.
Right. There's a button down there. It says share.
Share.
Right. Or if you're watching on Twitter, there's a button down there. It's got some arrows on it, and
subscribe.
Just saying.
Evangelize.
Go out and give the good word. Spread the good word. Let us pray.
Oh, we haven't prayed for a while.
Yeah, but let us pray. We pray to the gods of the algorithms that you will give us favor and allow us to put our good message across to more people. We understand that this is not something that can be just attained, and therefore we urge that you inspire our viewers to go out and evangelize on our behalf.
Shut up already. It's science.
The science.
The science.
There we go.
Algorithmic science.
Where are we? What were we talking about? Elon. Somebody said Elon's a nutter. Yeah, Elon is a nutter, but she's a bit. I mean, I think the guy. I mean, you've got to applaud him in some respects because he does think out the box. He pushes boundaries. He's probably a bit of a twat, aren't we all at times? Aren't we all?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a bit of a twat. I mean, anybody watching me on any of these platforms knows that I gained a following by being a twat. What I did was I went around test centers shouting at people.
I was watching a guy today who was doing a similar sort of thing. I couldn't watch it though because I don't know about you, right? But I can't watch handheld phone video that's being streamed.
See, my handheld phone video that was being streamed was being done over 5G and on a gimbal.
So it's not handheld. Your phone video is gimbaled. Right? I can't watch phone video that's not gimbaled because it's just, for want of a better description, it's fucking awful.
you know what? I have to let you know, as somebody who does that. I just sent a message in the chat, but it said you had to ask questions loudly, Ben, not scream. Where at? No, I'm not going to ask it. I'm not going to say it because I guarantee you that phrase is stuck in the YouTube algorithm as an Insta ban.
Oh,
So I won't ask where they all are.
no.
But Jay Franklin says, "What's gimbaled?" I can show you what gimbal
It's
is.
a thing that keeps your phone upright and pointing in one direction, or camera, or whatever it is. It allows you to move around, and it keeps the phone in one
Rock
place.
steady.
You know?
This is a DJI Osmo Mobile 5. Costs about 140 quid a year ago. So it's a compact fold-up thing, and you put your phone on it, and then when you turn it on, it holds it rock steady, so you can move it around, and your phone will stay in place. It just makes for a better viewing experience all around.
Yes, indeed it does.
DJI, that was not a sponsored bit, but if you'd like to pay me for trying to sell your products, I'm just saying.
Indeed.
Yes, indeed. Auto stabilized equals with a gimbal, says Adam. Indeed, it does. Shall we move on then? Anyway, let's not move on. You were telling me you were watching another guy doing something, and then
Yeah, he was going
doing?
around a park where they're apparently building an immigration holding centre,
right.
and it was opposite.
Was it a Pontins by any chance?
No, it was a park.
Oh, okay.
They were going to build it in a park,
Okay.
and it was opposite a primary school.
Okay, yeah, I can see the concern.
Yeah, because there's quite a few of that going on just now. There's the care home in France,
Yeah.
where the guy raped a 15-year-old disabled kid. The hostel in Germany,
Mm-hmm.
where a 24-year-old student was raped for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Happened here as well, I believe, in this country.
Well,
Or someone tried it in this country. So,
Yeah.
Someone tried to go into a hospital and rape someone in this country.
Jesus Christ. And I've had my own experience, as we know,
Yeah.
recently as well.
Have I got a fat chin here? What's going on? I need to get rid of this.
Harold
This isn't
says,
going to get saggy.
Dawn Dean says your audio keeps ducking, John.
Oh, fuck's sake.
I think that's because you're simply speaking quietly.
Yeah, it probably is. If I speak loudly, I don't think it ducks. Is it ducking now? Are we ducking now at all, old boy?
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fine. Wow.
Now, how does it sound?
Yeah, it sounds great. Don't ever move it again.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Put it back where it was.
Why is it doing that?
I have no idea.
It shouldn't do that. Right. Let's try it there.
Yeah, that's great.
Is that annoying?
No, that's great.
Okay, let's try it there and see how that goes.
It's pretty much out of frame on the show, so you're fine.
There's
Yeah.
reverb coming from my mic. I don't think so.
No,
No.
not to my end anyway.
Yeah, I maybe got a flappy noise there when I was moving it, but I don't think there's a reverb. Unless
No.
if we're getting echo, that's because we're sharing. But I don't hear any. Normally I would hear echo if it was going out.
Kill the share, and then they can tell you. I can't hear any echo, and Adam can't hear any reverb. Harold
on.
can't hear it. Craig can't hear it.
Adam can't hear it. Right, if Adam can't hear it, we can't hear it.
No, Adam
I think it
can't
might
hear
be
it.
you,
Harold-
Sean. I think you might have to look to yourself.
Yes, indeed.
When the
and-
evidence points to the fact that no one else hears it, one must look to oneself.
Mhm.
Indeed. Anyway, it wouldn't be Chasing Dissent if we didn't have some kind of technical issue.
No, and so exactly right, John. Every single show we have some kind of technical issue, but, and I will say but, we are thinking. Sean says I'm half deaf and can hear it. John sound and after sound like a low drone.
Yeah, well, that's fine, but no one else can hear it, Sean. So the problem doesn't appear to be in our end. If no one else is hearing it, one has to assume that the problem is at your end, dare I say it.
Okay, anyway, let's move on. Let's bring the conversation up a bit, shall we, John?
Yeah, okay, what shall we talk about?
Well, get the slide. Just get the
Oh,
slide.
you want the slides already? Bloody hell. He wants the slides. He wants the slides already.
Give him the slides.
Yeah, the slides are there. Chicken licking.
Chicken licking. This is a book, John. Chicken licking.
Yeah, have you never heard of chicken licking? This is ancient.
I had never heard of this book
Okay.
until today. Well, until yesterday, when my 6-year-old child was sent home from school with it. Right?
Sean's got a bee in his bonnet. They must be able to hear it. Ben's mic is fine. I think maybe it's because Ben's got a really high-pitched mic and I've got a very low tone because I am a deeper speaker than Ben.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
See, I've got that down. But anyway, Chicken Licking here was sent home with my 6-year-old child.
Mm-hmm.
And she sat there and she sits every evening. She sits on the couch and she reads the book aloud, wherever she's brought home. Next slide, please, John. Let's come home with my 6-year-old child. So the story is basically a parody of Chicken Little.
Mm-hmm.
The sky is falling, and this chicken's telling all of these people, and it gets to, and they're going to go and see the king, and it gets to this fox, and this fox is like, "Okay, I'll take you to see the king." Then what happened? I'm not reading this with her. I'm hearing this all come out of a 6-year-old's mouth as we're going. Let's have a look at the final slide here, John. Oh dear. Oh dear. This came out of my child's mouth. The fox killed them all. And they all die. And everybody's eaten.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the end of the book. And it goes, well, it did meet a king. The king of tricks. And literally every character in this book is horribly, horribly devoured by a group of foxes. And this is being given to my child at 6.
Well, what's the problem? Do you think it's not appropriate?
I don't think a mass slaughter is really appropriate for a 6-year-old child. No.
Hold on. 3 little pigs. 2 of them die.
Mm.
Yeah. Billy Goat's Gruff.
I hear what you're saying.
Jack and Jill.
I hear what you're saying.
Humpty Dumpty.
I hear what you're saying.
These are all fables so that people understand not to do these things or you might get eaten by a wolf.
I hear what you're saying. But it was still hilarious to just hear, just coming out of my 6-year-old's mouth. She just started reciting it. And then they all died. And went, what? What? Yeah. It was so funny.
And did she laugh?
Yes.
Yes. It's good to see that you're rearing a psychopath. Excellent.
To be fair, I was laughing my arse off.
Yeah, of course she eats meat.
Yeah, she does eat meat. Yeah, she does eat meat. We are a meat-eating family. Yes, we are.
You can't make a kid a vegetarian.
No, you shouldn't make a kid a vegetarian.
No. Although they're just not going to develop right.
Well, we wouldn't have things like canine teeth if we weren't meant to eat meat, John.
We wouldn't have a digestive system that prefers meat.
No, we wouldn't. We wouldn't. You know, these like message to vegans. I've got a message for the vegans right now. Right. If you want to take supplements to the rest of your life to, you know, supplement the things you're not getting from the meat you're not eating, and you want to continue down this diet, feel free, fill your boots. It's your body, your choice, right? Stop telling me what I should and shouldn't eat. Stop telling me what I can and can't eat. And we're all good. That's it, vegans. You do you. We'll do us. Simple.
And remember, just because a plant can't run away doesn't mean it doesn't want to be eaten.
Yeah.
And that's why plants are. They are indeed devious little bastards. And what plants do is, because they can't run away, they create all these toxins that interfere with mammals' digestive systems. So that you don't eat the little fuckers. I mean, you'd think about it. Look at mushrooms. You can only eat a handful of mushrooms. You know, out of all the different species. The rest will kill you, stone dead. Like 400 grams of raw almonds could kill you.
We've covered this a few times, actually.
Yeah, we have. I mean, if you eat raw kidney beans, you only need 1 or 2 and you're dead. 1 or 2.
Do you know what, John?
Yeah.
I've spent hours today doing what?
Moving your stuff around.
I've made a redesigned set here, haven't I?
Yeah, you have. No one's mentioned it.
Not one person has mentioned it.
They haven't. That's because they're entranced.
I'm lit up like a Christmas tree.
They're entranced by your awesome handsomeness.
Well, I am pretty fucking handsome, yeah. I mean, we all know that. But I'm just a little bit upset. I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm not going to lie. Trudy says, "Oh my God, just noticed no tinsel."
There wasn't any tinsel the last time that he was on the show.
And there's a bit more than no tinsel. It's a bit more than no tinsel. I'm in a fucking corner to start with.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Vaughan says, "Wait, Ben has a set."
No, we're not talking about his new hairstyle. It's not a new hairstyle. He just dyed his hair. Ben doesn't style his hair. He just drapes it over his head.
I'm going to say it's very, very long at this point. You can't tame this.
It's like a set of curtains. He just pulls it open before the show.
Yep.
He has actually come on to the chat before with his hair like something out of the Monsters, thing.
What, you mean when I popped in randomly the other day?
Yeah, when you had your hair just straight down.
Yeah. Harold says, "Get the bowl out." Craig says, "This show has changed since Twitter Blue."
How's it changed?
He's joking. He's joking.
Okay.
It's a joke. All Craig does is joke. You can't get really any serious words out of that.
Yeah,
and that's good.
These jokes, he's trying to teach his kids as well. I saw that earlier. And...
His jokes are absolutely awful, but they're so awful that they're good. I love it. I do. I love it. Trudy says, "I'm not observant. I didn't notice my niece now wears glasses." Dawn Dean says, "Wish my hair was as tamed as yours, Ben." This isn't tamed. Look at it.
Well, it looks fine. Yeah, but you've straightened it and blow dried.
No, I have not.
Have you not?
I don't straighten my hair, John. This is au natural.
Well, it's fine then. There's nothing to worry about. Anyway, why am I still got these fucking stupid foxing chicken up?
I don't know. Why have you got
KFC? Make me hungry.
Oh yeah. I can't even afford a takeaway. Right?
See when vegans put up things like, did you see the big poster they put up that was the pig? And they said she didn't consent. And it's like when I see a pig, it's like bacon, or when I see a lamb, it's like lamb chops.
Gammon.
What?
Gammon.
That's a pig.
Yeah.
Okay. Or you see a lamb chops. You see a cow, ribeye. It's like identify the animals by the taste.
I mean, I do really, really enjoy a ribeye.
Oh yeah, I do like a ribeye.
I do like a ribeye, I must say. And, if you don't, fair enough. That's absolutely your prerogative. But once again, you do you. We'll do us. We'll enjoy our ribeye steak. You enjoy your plants.
Well, I feel sorry for vegetarians because they seem to spend half their time trying to make their plants taste and look like meat. That's the bit I can't equate. You know, how does that work? I mean, what if you don't like eating meat? Why are you trying to make everything taste like meat and look
That
like
is a
meat?
very good question. That's a very good question, and one we must continue to ask, because it really does smack of desperation almost, doesn't it?
Hypocrisy, perhaps.
Hypocrisy. Well, yes and no, because they obviously want something that tastes nice, and what they're doing is admitting that their food tastes shite.
Yeah.
We've got to make it. Well, the thing is, we've got to make not chicken or chicken. That's what I saw in the shop the other day. Chicken nuggets. Chicken nuggets.
Right. Do you know the story of Groundhog Day?
Yes.
Do you know what happens on Groundhog Day?
Yes.
Yeah. So Puxatawny Pete comes out of his hole, and if he sees his shadow and goes back in, it's going to be another 7 weeks. Is it 7 weeks of winter? Well, they have the same thing in Ontario and Canada, called Pete. And the guy, they're all gathered there for the grand groundhog event, and the guy says, there are days when things just don't go right, and I have to announce that Pete elle est morte.
Does that mean that it's going to be eternal winter?
I don't know, but Pete died on the day when he was supposed to come out his hole. I mean, he couldn't leave it an extra day or go early so they could at least get a replacement. He died on the morning of the event.
We shouldn't laugh, but it's.
And the people were aghast and destroyed because they were looking for their meteorological star. They were looking for guidance for the forthcoming season, and they'd gone and popped his clog. Poor old Pete.
Pete.
the mop.
Pete. I'm still hung up on the fact that nobody has said, "Oh, it looks good."
Yeah, it's affecting your performance as well. I can see it. You're it's really eating you up. I mean, you just can't get over it, can you?
No, I'm upset. I'm upset.
Well, let's ask the troll room. What did you think of the what do you think of the voiceover videos that I've done? I've done about 3 now. If you've seen them, Ben likes them, but
I do. I think
I'm
they're
not
great.
100% sure. That last one, I will give you this. I did that no script and one take. So,
John.
Yeah, Ben.
I've never put a script on a single one of my.
No, I know you haven't. But to come off, to do a comedy one like that, it's quite good.
I think it was very good. I do. I think it was very good. Trudy says, yes, I like them, John. Adam says, they are funny, John.
It was him that put me up to it, actually.
It was. It was him that put me up to Propaganda Watch.
Yeah.
He can be useful.
Oh, and no one disputes that he can be useful.
Mm.
He's just not consistent.
But we do love him dearly.
Yeah, we do.
Love him dearly. I mean, that's the whole thing, Where's Adam? Well, he's in the chat.
We were going to call the show Where's Adam?
Where's Adam? Yeah.
You can understand why we think he's not consistent.
They're talking about a pie shop in the chat.
A pie shop?
Yeah, they're talking about a pie shop.
See, pies are different down south. We do pies up here, right? But then we do Scotch pies. I always think it's a strange name because Scotch is a drink. Nothing else is called Scotch. People aren't Scotch. People are Scottish. If you call someone Scotch, you're being deliberately a knob, and you might get a slap in the mouth.
You know what? If we can get both channels to 1,000 subscribers and we can get them both monetized, right? I was thinking the other day, my celebration video for the other channel will be this. I'll get on a plane. I'll fly to Glasgow. I'll meet up with John. I'll have a munchie box. I'll go back to the airport. I'll get on the plane and I'll fly back. All in one day.
Speaking about flying, So apparently Uncle Joe's going to drop the emergency powers on May the 11th.
Yeah, I mean,
Now, does
he's
that
a-
mean that the requirement drops?
Yes,
Are we sure?
yes,
Okay.
yes, we are sure.
I've never seen any chip shop that offers a deep fried Mars bar. So I think it's one of the. It's probably
got
one
around
of
the
these.
corner.
Oh yeah, you might have one, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, people seem to equate it with Scotland, but I think it might be one of these things that's overhyped. I think maybe one
They're
chip shop did it.
fantastic. They're fantastic.
I've never seen one. You know,
They
I've
are
never had one, never seen one.
fantastic.
And
Yeah.
it's probably not something I would have.
I'll tell you, they are fantastic. That's
Well,
it.
if you can go, what is it in France? If you can go 2.5 hours by train, right?
Mm.
You can't get
You
a
can't
short
fly
haul
anymore.
flight
No, you can't fly anymore. You're banned. You're
because
banned.
of climate change.
How dare you?
Speaking of climate, and this is a completely off the wall thing, right?
Right.
People have been, I do tend to weigh in on the climate change things occasionally, right?
Mm.
And Elon Musk made some stupid comment the other day about renewables when he of all people should know that, one, we don't have the battery capacity, and two, the efficiencies in renewables is appalling. Okay, so he weighs in, and I said, look, the only sensible decision was and is nuclear.
Yeah.
And then people start jumping down your throat. You know, what do you mean was and is? There are a number of different different things you could be using in it. And it's like, why? Why would you? Right, solar power, 23% efficient. 23%. Now that's up from 6 when it was invented in 1888. 1880, right? Solar power.
Come a long way.
6%.
Come a long way.
Well, it hasn't. 6% and 6% to 23 in 200 years. That's appalling.
Yes, it is. Absolutely appalling.
And the thing is, that 23% is when it's new, because the solar panel degrades every day it's out there, and the sun degrades the solar panel. So solar panels are great for things like mobile homes, right? So they top up your batteries in between when you're not driving, because your engine will top up the battery better than your solar panel.
Yeah.
Because that's got an alternator, and that's basically a petrol or diesel generator. Petrol or diesel generator. What? 45 to 70% efficiency, something like that. Okay, right? Wind turbine. 35 to 45% efficiency. It's not good. It's not good.
But the thing is, they know it's not good.
Yeah. But,
They know it's not good.
But
They know
nuclear power, 92% efficient. 92%. There is nothing to compete with it. Nothing.
No.
And the thing is, don't mention things like nuclear waste and all that, because we have the technology to make thorium nuclear reactors that have almost no nuclear waste. We just don't use it. Why don't we use it? Because electricity would be too freaking cheap.
Well, he's absolutely right, by the way. We're in a situation where big oil, big tech, big energy, big pharma, all of them are going to do all of they can to milk every penny that they can out of you. And then big government alongside that are going to do everything they can to impoverish you. And they're going to do everything they can all in to control you. It's a form of fascism. It's a new form of corporatism. It's a new form of fascism. People can call me crazy. They can call me what they like for saying that. But you just got to look at the writing on the wall, right? You got to look at the last 3 years, the elevation of the last 3 years. I would say it's probably been going on since long before that. But take the big pharma out of the equation for a minute. Look what big energy are doing to you right now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, look at what British Gas have been doing.
Oh, right. Let's talk about energy, because I got to kind of be in my bonnet about this. Now, Open One raises a point here that's quite interesting, because he says the power loss volt drop from wind farms is massive. Now, I don't know if you know, but they transfer, the national grid transfers electricity around the country.
Yeah.
And allegedly, right, at really high voltages, like 655,000 volts or something. So they transfer at really high voltages because at the really high voltages you don't lose a lot. And then they step it down before it gets to your house. So it steps down to local for about 155,000 or something. Then it gets to the substation in the town or whatever. And then it'll come down to 240 before it comes into your house. Correct me if I'm wrong, Oban One. So that's how it works. Now, I can understand water.
Yeah.
I can understand gas. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you pay for water, you get a product delivered to your house that you can put in a cup and measure.
Yeah.
And I can therefore understand them metering that product.
Yes.
Okay. You turn gas on, you burn it. I can understand they are providing a product and you are burning it and producing heat that you can visibly see and feel. Right? Okay, it's producing hot water or it's cooking your food or whatever. I can understand gas. I can understand water. How can you charge someone for electricity? Hey!
From Luke Honeythunder, it's my birthday today, February 3rd. So how about you sing happy birthday to me? Ta.
Well, there was an echo there.
So there was a donation there. What was the donation, John, from Luke Honeythunder, I believe?
I don't know. I think I turned the mount off, but he has donated, and it is his birthday, so we will sing him happy birthday. Can we do it after my thingy?
By we, you mean you're going to make me do it, right?
Yeah. Right. So you can prepare. But anyway, so electricity.
Yeah.
How can you charge someone for electricity?
Well, I don't know.
Because
please
electrons don't move off their atom, right?
Yep.
So electrons don't flow like water or gas. They use that kind of analogy to describe how electricity works, but that's not how it works, right?
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. We're not even connected. Your house isn't connected to the national grid physically. There is no physical connection between your house and the national grid.
No, you're connected to a local substation.
Yeah, but there's no physical connection between your house and the substation. Because, well, there is, but what happens is the electricity comes in, it goes into a transformer, and the transformer is just basically a big iron bar with wire wrapped around it.
Right.
And it comes in on one side and then on the other side. These wires aren't connected.
Right.
There's no physical connection.
Right.
So nothing flows. What happens is it generates a field which induces a current in the other side.
Right.
So how can they charge you? How can they charge you for something that you cannot physically measure? I mean, right. So just to put it in perspective, if you get a big lump of iron and wrap wire around it, okay, and go and stand beside a substation, you can measure. You can steal power. You can generate power, right? Okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you can do that.
Right.
You get a big lump of iron, wrap loads of wire around it. You're basically making an antenna, right?
Yeah.
And you go and stand beside the substation, you will start to generate power, right? The closer you can get, the more power you will generate.
Okay.
There is no physical connection, right?
Right.
So how can they honestly charge you for electricity? It's a scam. And this is what Tesla was trying to do. Tesla was trying to provide people with over-the-air power, right?
Yeah, he's basically trying to provide people with free electricity, wasn't he?
Well, yeah, because really you shouldn't be charging for electricity. I mean, okay, if you want to make it and don't want to make it, then you can turn it off, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, you can
up.
stand beside a fucking substation with a bar of metal wrapped in cable and you can produce. Yeah, I'm not saying you can produce a lot of power, right? But you can produce power, and that's exactly how a transformer works. So there's no physical connection between your house and the national grid. So how can the national grid say it's providing you with power? It's It's a thought experiment, right? It's a thought
What
experiment.
you should have done is run the Old Man Screams at Sky before that.
Well, yeah, I probably should have. But I've got more.
Play it now.
Well,
Play it now.
why?
Where's a bit louder?
There. Happy?
There you go. I'm very happy. I'm very happy. And Luke, yes, we did see it. It did pop up. It scared the living shit out of everyone. The alarm went off. The robot voice called out and told us it was indeed your birthday. And
What's an echo? It did have an echo. I'll give you that.
it did have an echo. It actually told us twice. Happy birthday, Mr. Honey Thunder. Happy birthday, Mr. Honey Thunder. That's enough. I can't do any more. I can't do any more.
That's super fucking.
I know. I did it on purpose.
Yeah, I know.
I was going to call him Mr. President. Oh, he's doing it again.
Happy birthday to you.
Hip, hip.
Hooray!
Hip, hip.
Hooray!
Hooray. Oh, Epic Store is now giving me a load of notifications. I will get to you at 11 o'clock, Epic Store. Otherwise, leave me alone.
Get it up here, look. Get it up here.
Jay Franklin says you're turning us on, Ben. Well, you know, that's not very hard.
Whatever turns you on, mate. Whatever turns you on.
I know. I mean,
Yes, the electric cars could, in theory, charge from the road below them as they move. Yeah,
Yeah, so-
I mean, talked about things like that.
you know, Craig sent me a picture of Triple H earlier and said I look like Triple H. Remember Triple H from the WWE, from the wrestling?
Mm-hmm.
When he had his long hair, he sent me. He said, "I look like that." I don't look like that, but now Triple H looks like you, John.
I'm not fucking bald.
Are you sure?
I think the evidence is in front of your fucking eyes.
What, your toupee?
It's not a toupee. It's real. Look, it's real hair. It's short, but it's there.
Okay, John. Okay.
Holy fuck. Fucking punk whippersnapper. I bet you're bald before you're my age.
Yeah, probably will be. That's probably true. But to be fair, boys and girls, this man and the other people we're supposed to call our friends bully me when we're playing games. They just bully me. They call me names.
We don't bully you.
They do. They bully me.
That's because you're a fuckwit.
There we go. He's just admitted it. He's just admitted it.
Yeah, I have looked at the top of my head at the back. There is still hair there. I've checked it. It's still there.
I saw some hairs.
Have you seen Ben's bald spot?
Fuck off.
Let me just check. I've not got any. I don't think there's nothing playing audio. Even the.
It did come through twice.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that's probably because we're sharing. You want me to stop sharing? In fact, I tell you what, I'll stop sharing. Right.
Yeah.
I've stopped sharing audio. So, Sean, you're the man. You're the man with the ears. If we're still getting it, let me know. If it's changed, then mark this time, 2150. If it's changed since 2150, then sharing audio doesn't work.
John.
But you never share audio with me. Never. And yet you demand that I share it with you.
Allegedly, it is still there. There is something going wrong in your sound system.
Only for Sean, though. Everybody else says it's all right.
Yeah, I mean, you sound fine to me.
So I sound fine to you, and
Yeah.
I sound fine to Adam. And Adam's normally quite critical.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as bad today as usual. Well, right, hold on. So I download all these things and put them out as podcasts, and I'm hypercritical when I'm putting out podcasts. You know that, Ben, right?
He is.
I'm hypercritical because I go on at Ben all the time about his volume levels and the amount of work I've got to do to level them and everything.
I've got to bring your volume up.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
bring your volume up.
your volume's much better tonight. It seems to be, I would say, easy. So,
Okay.
So I am hypercritical when yeah, it's a brick wall.
All in all, it's just another brick in the wall. We don't need no education. So the striking teachers
Right.
said to our kids this week.
So yeah, well, let's just finish the energy thing, because the seals.
Yep.
And I just want to reiterate this question. I think I had this last week. For people that are getting smart meters installed for your water and gas, can you ask them where they're getting the power from to power those smart meters?
Yeah, that's a very good question. That is a very good question, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think so, because, you know, you're not generating that electricity from the water that's running through your pipe, because if you don't use any water, the meter would never be on, right?
Right.
So, and you're not generating it from gas running through the pipe. So, where are they getting the power to generate the electricity to run their smart meters to go back to base? And if they're getting it from your supply, then I think you could fairly ask them for a contribution.
I think you could. I think you could indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Trudy says, my parents are in their 80s and have refused a smart meter.
See, and why wouldn't they? Because your parents are 80 and have the combined might of 160 years of wisdom. So why would they not refuse a smart meter? Because let's face it, if your government, through corporations or whatever, is giving you anything for free, it's never, and I mean never, in your best interests.
No, it's not. It's not. Because what are the aims of government, John?
To control
Feather
the
your
population
nest.
and feather your nest.
One more time, people. Feather their nest and...
control the population.
One more time.
Feather
Feather
the
their
nest.
nest.
Control
the
population.
population.
Indeed. So that's one of my bigger talking points of this evening.
Yeah. Now, before we move on to another talking point, once again, I think I'm going to have to... Hold on. I'm going to have to do it, John.
What are you going to have to do?
I'm going to have to call the boys.
How many viewers have we got?
Well, we got more viewers than we got likes.
15 watching and 12 likes. Good grief.
Gonna have to call the boys. Yes, my phone is pink, but I'm gonna have to call the boys.
Right, so tell me about this China spy balloon. What the hell's going on there?
I've seen nothing about it. I thought you'd tell me about it.
Right,
no.
okay. Well, there appears to be a freaking huge balloon that is higher up than the International Space Station.
What?
Well, the International Space Station went across the front of it. So it's got to be higher than the ISS.
Okay.
So there's this huge balloon that people are saying is a Chinese spy balloon with listening devices on it or whatever, or viewing.
I mean, I saw a truth from Trump earlier that simply said, shoot the balloon down!
Well, that must be what they're talking about. So it's like... how high is the International Space Station meant to be? I thought it was meant to be like... Is it not meant to be like 200 miles up or something?
It's Chinese spy balloon, 6,000 tweets in the last hour.
Yeah, see, it's quite popular.
My bloody light is brand new. It's starting to strobe on me. Let's make it a bit warmish. How's that?
Sean says they have chips in every device in the West. Of course they do. Where are all the chips made? They're all made in either China or Taiwan.
I like that one. Does that look good?
Yeah, that looks great. That looks great. Just carry on. So Taiwan, when China takes over Taiwan, imagine how bad it's going to be then.
Right, here we go. President, I'm reading a tweet from Marjorie Taylor Greene here, right? She says, President Trump says, shoot down the balloon! Any moment now, 51 former intelligence officials will say the balloon is disinformation and not Chinese. Meanwhile, Biden lets the Chinese spy balloon keep gathering all the information they need.
What information do they need? What is this Chinese spy balloon gathering that you can't get from Google?
Now, yeah, and I'm seeing a wonderful tweet here, actually, a very poignant tweet. I'm going to read it out for you. It's from Tim Young. He's like a conservative news commentator / comedian, and he says, "So, everyone freaking out about one Chinese spy balloon when over 80 million people in the US have TikTok on their phones. Got it." Well, exactly, Tim. You're exactly right. And we've been we got an episode just last week. TikTok is a psyop, right?
Yep, we did.
We made this point before you, Tim. Right? We make these points all of the time.
Well, actually, the thing that Neil Oliver followed us for was when I said to him, "You should really watch us," because we discussed what was the point he brought up, because TikTok.
Thailand.
What?
Yeah, it could have been.
Was it TikTok or something?
I thought it was Thailand.
Oh yeah, it was the Thai princess.
Yeah, the Thai princess.
So he tweeted that today, and we covered it on Monday.
Yeah, we did. He's right, we did. And Harold says Neil Oliver is boring.
Yes, but Neil Oliver has 231,000 followers on Twitter.
He does.
Which, if we got in there and got him on the show, it could give us a boost that would put us into monetization.
And yeah, we wouldn't have to rely so heavily on donations.
Yeah. China, yeah. I don't think China are worried about where America keeps its nukes. I really don't think they are.
Jay says you don't know what technology they have on the balloon. You know what? They could be it could be one massive troll. That's the thing. It could be one massive troll.
It could be just a big, huge balloon that they put up there and they're just fucking about. I mean, I would put it past them. I mean, I think Xi Jinping is a bit of a troller, a bit like Putin. I think Putin's quite good at trolling as well. Because what's Putin doing just now? He's asking for peace and things like that, but he doesn't. Yeah. He doesn't need it because did you see what he's done? He's wiped out. He's wiped out 70% of Zelensky's elite troops. So Zelensky sent all his elite troops to back him up, and the Wagner battalion. Remember we were talking about the Wagner department, the battalion the other day. They wiped them out. So Zelensky's put all his elite troops in one basket. He's had them basically wiped out, and now he's left with nothing but untrained troops. Well,
yeah. Now
there's not going to be any Ukraine to send tanks to.
I kind of have to agree, unless we have idiots like what's his name? Is it Elwood today who was on the TV saying we are at war with Russia?
Tobias.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's Germany said it, and now Elwood said. Well, see, Elwood's not in a position to say it.
Was it Elwood?
Was it Elwood?
It was hard to.
Was it Elwood?
Was it Elwood? Whoever leads the Defence Select Committee, whoever that was on TV earlier on, saying we are at war with Russia.
Well, he shouldn't be saying that because that needs to be a proper declaration.
Well, exactly. And he's basically saying, what was it? Hold on. I'm going to have a look. I'm going to look it up. So, before I do look it up, I'll give you an update from an hour ago from Jack Posobiec on the Chinese spy balloon. So the Chinese spy balloon is now heading to Shakopee, Minnesota. Their target is the MyPillow 2 technology just released this week.
I do quite like Jack.
Oh dear. Anyway, was it Tobias Elwood? You're not going to let me look. You're going to let me look Twitter, or are you going to be a dick?
Sean says he thinks it was Elwood.
Tobias Elwood. Let's see. Tobias Elwood, spy master and warmonger in chief, demands the UK and NATO invades Russia. This is from Bernie's tweets. Weak men playing chess where citizens are little more than collateral damage, and those who dare to question his narrative are treated as enemies of the state. So yes, it was Elwood. Exactly. In fact, I'll read you as this goes along, I'll read it out. We are now at war in Europe We need to move to a war footing. We are involved in that. We've mobilized our procurement processes. We're gifting equipment. We need to face Russia directly and reckon that rather than leaving Ukraine to do all the work.
No. It's fucking wrong.
Those were his exact words,
He's
by the
wrong.
way.
How can he say that? He knows what our resources are, and our resources are diddly squat. I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again. If Argentina took the Falklands right now, we couldn't fucking respond. We couldn't take them back. We don't have the capability of defending them anymore. I
mean, I don't know about you, but if I was his boss, the unelected Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, right? Rashid Sunak, whatever you want to call him.
He'd been next to go.
He'd be gone.
Yeah.
Because that is such a dangerous thing to be going on national, nay, international, on Sky News, nay, international TV and saying. You're basically saying, you're the head of the Defense Select Committee, right?
Yeah.
And you're basically saying, Russia, we've declared war on you.
No, it's not his decision to make, and it's not his call. So, speaking about Rishi, did you see the video I made the other day about him? It's like, he's so ineffectual. It's like, he's actually, he makes a great training aid. Because this is how not to do things. I mean, what was he like? He's standing there, you know, flailing his arms about like an idiot. So, I mean, we all talk with our arms to some degree, and people like you to talk with your arms on YouTube for some reason, but fuck's sake, you either do or you don't, right? And it's fine if you're wandering about doing a presentation or whatever, but he's meant to be doing a press conference. He's meant to be imparting critical information. It sounded like a third-year pupil at school.
Yeah.
Giving a book report and looking for validation. You know, I've done this. Because of this, I've done this. This is the steps I've taken to do this.
And these are the right things to do. For
fuck's sake. I mean, the guy is such a fucking wet blanket. I mean, somebody needs to screw him up and ring him out. They really do. Because it's just... I find him loathsome. I just cannot take to the man at all.
I find them all loathsome. I find people in general who want to see themselves as our masters and our betters loathsome. They are not our masters. They are not our betters. And I say it every show, and I'm going to say it again. These people have forgotten their place. Their place actually is as your servant.
Yeah,
your representative. They've forgotten their place.
Everybody has. And everybody's forgotten it. And the thing is, we've allowed them to do that. That's the problem. Right?
I mean, it's all this, we were talking about it the other day, all this 15-minute city lark, right?
Yeah.
Because people have forgotten their place, because people have forgotten that they are the council's masters, they are the government's masters, the councils and the governments have gone, nah, we're your masters and we're going to punish you.
Oh, and the council's worst for that. The council think they are your masters. It was quite interesting because I was watching something the other night and it was about a woman that had a child and didn't register the birth.
Yeah.
So they didn't register the birth, but they wanted to travel, so they needed to put the child on a passport.
Yeah.
And they were told they couldn't get a passport if they didn't have a birth certificate.
Yeah.
But she never gave up. And she's now got a passport and the child doesn't have a birth certificate.
Wow.
So if you keep pushing, they can't stop you.
No.
Ultimately, there are things you can break their system if you keep pushing. And the other one that I found quite interesting was the let's say you get a speeding ticket, right? And what you do is you say you'll get a notice of intended prosecution at 179.
Yes.
Right. So you get the notice of intended prosecution. Now, notice in this term is a legal term, right? And notice means offer, an offer of prosecution.
You're starting to sound like a common law person.
No, I am sounding a bit like it, but I'm not saying it. But what it means from a legal perspective is it's an offer, right?
Yeah.
And what you do is you reply to it and you say, I can neither confirm nor deny that I was at that location because I honestly cannot remember. I mean, if I asked to you, If I asked you, where were you at 3:15, right? On 2 Sundays ago. Where were you exactly at 3:15 and 30 seconds?
By my cooker cooking a roast.
Right. Were you, or were you in the toilet? Can you definitely confirm you were
True.
at your cooker?
True.
See? So you can. Yeah, I mean, nobody can remember where they were at a specific time. So what you say to them is, send me evidence. And they'll send you a photo of what looks like your car. And you say, yes, that looks like my car. However, can you prove that is my car? Because someone could have cloned my number plates. And that happens more than you think. Right?
And also, can you prove it's me within the driver's seat?
There you go, yeah. So you keep asking them for evidence, and if they can't provide evidence, eventually they've got to drop it.
Well, yeah, of course they do. Of course they do.
But the problem is you never want to get into their, never agree to anything, because if you agree to anything, you then get into their system, and that's it, you're stunk.
Well, yeah, no, yeah, he's right. He's right. Hashtag Nicola Bully is trending. Is that to do with Sturgeon?
No, Nicola Bully's a missing woman.
Oh, she is, isn't she? Yeah, no, we're going to talk about that, aren't we?
Well, we're going to have to, aren't we? I mean, right.
My apologies, first of all.
I don't like talking about these things.
No, it's big news.
It is big news. There are a number of scenarios here. None of them are good.
None of them are good.
So she was on a conference call, apparently.
Yeah, so did you watch the press conference this evening?
What kind of job does she do that she can have a conference call while she's walking her dog?
Yeah, so apparently she was on a Teams meeting. Right?
Yeah.
But she never signed out at the Teams meeting.
Yep.
The dog was found out of not just off the lead, but out of the harness. Right? And her phone was on the bench. And she's missing.
Right,
now they
so
think
first,
she went in the river. I don't, but then
there are a number of scenarios here. Shall we run through them?
yeah.
Okay. 1, she went in the river. She committed suicide. Okay. That's number 1. Number 2, she did a Reggie Perrin. Remember the guy that went out to sea in his, remember the guy that went out to sea in his canoe off the south coast? And was later found in Panama, living the high life.
Yeah, I was going to say, also known as Lord Lucan.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so she did a Reggie Perrin, right?
Yep.
Number 3, someone abducted her.
Which is where my mind is.
Right. Number 4, her boyfriend did it.
Yeah, and that's always your first port of call, isn't it? As a police officer.
You always look closest to home first.
Absolutely.
I didn't like his press conference.
I didn't see his.
He did a lot of looking to the left.
Right.
Downward looks to the left while he was talking about her, you know.
Okay.
Don't like
Okay.
that.
Well, once again, what we are saying here is mere speculation at this point. But, you know, from my point of view, just because she was logged into a Teams meeting, I didn't hear anybody say that they saw or heard her on that meeting. She was logged into a Teams meeting.
Right.
But once again, the police officer woman, she didn't say she was physically in that meeting.
Yeah, and the police are saying that they're looking at a time frame between 10 past and 20 past.
Yeah, well, because they think that she. See, the police are convinced that she's gone in the river, right? They're convinced, except for they've used divers, underwater drones, waders, and more for the 15 kilometers towards the sea, and they're using the Coast Guard.
I mean, it's what, 8 days now? She could be in the sea.
She could be in the sea.
She could have been in the sea within a day.
But that's what they're doing. They're focused on that one spot of the river. And personally speaking, I think they're looking in the wrong place. But I could be wrong. and it is mere speculation. And I know she said at a press conference today, we don't want anyone to speculate online. But you know what? That's what people are doing all over the internet right now. People are speculating.
Oh, you're going to do it.
The mainstream media are speculating.
Yeah, well, I mean, of course you're going to do it. I mean, you don't want to upset people, but they know, the people that are close to her, they know what the possibilities are.
Of course they do.
And they know now, 8 days or whatever it is, that the chances of her getting found alive are negligible, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean they're slashed by around 50% per day, aren't they? Yeah. So it's still possible. It's not probable, but it's still possible.
Anything's possible, mate. But yeah, I don't like these cases because they're just like, you always have to look at the family first, and it's unfortunate because experience tells you that,
I mean, he is an ex-police officer, for people that may not have ever watched this before.
a lot of occasions that's where it all comes back to. It's either family or friend of the family.
Oh, I'll give you an update on the dental service, John. Let's move on from this. I'll give you an update on the dental service because it is terrible. Trudy is right. And we will keep an eye on it. And if news develops, we'll probably make a video. It won't be a funny video. It'll be a proper video. But I'll give you an update on the dental service. I filled another tooth.
This is Ben H's Dental Services Inc.
Yep, Inc. Free. That's free.
That's it. Why are you getting all these cavities?
I don't know, John.
Yeah, I don't know either, Ben.
I don't know. I still can't get a dentist. I've tried.
Yeah.
Belladonna says there's no such thing as an ex-Rosa. Well, there's one that hates the police service right there.
Pardon me?
Absolutely he despises the police service as much as I do. It's quite funny.
It's not the same operation it was.
No, I did it, Harold. I did it. I did the fillings with I did the fillings with actual dental filling. I have to do them myself because I can't get a dentist. So I'm not using super glue anymore though, John.
Well, that's good. So you know how Scotland's been in the papers a bit recently? Well, you would know that if you were doing Propaganda Watch.
I've not been well, John.
That's true.
But anyway, so Scotland's kind of been in the papers, and that clown India Willoughby went to BBC Question Time, I think.
I've seen something on what happened.
I haven't seen it, but apparently he whatever got a fucking roasting from the public because they thought the tweet before it arrived was, I'm going to Scotland, what a wonderful country, blah blah blah, so inclusive, blah blah blah. Then came to Glasgow and realised that the SNP does not represent the thoughts and minds of the Scottish public.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
So she said, what a bunch of bigots. I get torn apart on BBC Question Time. Which I found quite amusing. Now, our glorious leader up here, the First Minister, the First Manager, right, has, and she could be a candidate. See, if she wasn't such a cunt, she'd actually be a candidate for our dwarf. Did you see the dwarf battle in the?
I did. I tell you what, guys, he's obsessed, absolutely obsessed with working with a dwarf. He really wants to work with a dwarf.
See, the bit that really got me was when the dwarf cops ran in.
John, I'm going to tell you something after the show that's going to make your jaw hit the floor.
What?
It's a piece of information that I've been holding back from you on purpose.
You've got a dwarf. got me a dwarf.
No. No, it's a piece of information I've been holding back from you on purpose, but I think it's time to tell you.
Okay. I'll look forward to it.
I mean, I will just tell you now, my wife's sister has dwarfism.
Oh my God! Your wife's sister's a dwarf?
Mm-hmm.
Can we use her? What did your wife think of Mike?
I've not told her.
Does she not watch these shows anymore?
No, not
Probably
all the time.
just as well.
Probably just as well.
You've been holding out at me all this time.
All
You've
this
got
time.
a dwarf in the family.
In the family.
Oh Jesus Christ, man! We could have had a dwarf on the show. We could have been like a multi-million-dollar business by now if we had a dwarf. You've got to take your advantages and use them. You've got to use them, people. Grab your advantages, your opportunities at every hand, and use them.
She's smaller than 4'6", Jay. She's quite a bit smaller than 4'6".
Oh, a true dwarf.
She has extensions on her car pedals. I thought this would make John happy. For fuck's sake.
I want to build a big wall in the back garden and cover it in Velcro.
Oh my God.
We can throw her against it.
Oh, fuck off.
We put cushions down in case she didn't stick. First time. We can paint a target on it and give us points. Oh, you made my night. I'm so fucking happy. What's her name?
I'm not telling you.
Is that a dwarf name?
No.
Like Sleepy or Dopey?
Fuck off.
Is it Grumpy? Is it Grumpy? Oh, jeez, I really want one.
I'm out. I'm out.
What do you mean you're out? Come back. Come on. We'll move on.
I'm done.
No, you're not done. We're not finished yet. How did you know? How did you know?
What?
It's like you read my mind.
What?
Because I've got an article, I've got a list of things that we want to talk about, and one of them was dwarf candidates. And you've just sealed the deal.
No, I haven't, because I'm not gonna ask her.
What was the point in telling me then?
Just to upset you, John. I'm gonna put her out your reach. That's what I'm gonna do.
How do you know she wouldn't enjoy it?
John.
Ben.
No. No.
I'll ask Chrissy.
He'll try. He'll try.
Right. So Sturgeon, right? As we were talking about on the subject of dwarfs, has come out. What? Has come out, right? And said that she kind of agrees with the victim and the rapist might well be lying.
Right.
The rapist being the guy that is now a woman.
You mean the guy that's very clearly pretending to be a woman so that he can get out of going to men's prison?
Yeah. So
that guy.
yeah. So
yeah.
She...
Let's not mix it up here, John. That's what he is doing.
Yeah, no, I know that. I know that. But she has put, in my view, she just sealed the deal on her demise, surely.
Absolutely, especially with this whole Gender Recognition Act bollocks.
I mean, because she's gone from one extreme to the other.
So, Harold, in Scotland, just last week or the week before, they introduced this like self-ID act in Scotland, where basically anybody can affirm the gender that they want to affirm. So if a guy who's had no hormone treatments or anything just says I'm a woman now, or a woman who's had no hormone treatments or anything says I'm a guy now, then by law that has to be accepted, right? And the things that come with it, including prisons. So we've had this big hoo-ha and uproar over the last week or so about the trans woman, and I say that in inverted commas because this guy clearly is not a trans woman, who tried to get himself, a double rapist, tried to get himself put in a women's prison. And it's all backfired on Nicola Sturgeon, and she's finally come out and said, yeah, he's probably pretending, is what you're saying, John.
Yeah. She's come out and said that she would side with the victim and that she thinks he's lying. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, so Nicola, you're just a two-faced git, and you'll change your mind at a whim in order to try and keep yourself in a position of power, because that's basically what she's trying to do.
And Sean Hennessy makes a point here.
The papers were going on and on and on about, is this the end for Nicola? She's thinking about leaving because of all this stuff. Her ego's too big.
Yeah, of course it is.
Her ego's too big for her to give up. You're gonna have to, dig it up with a pneumatic drill to get it out.
I mean, the chat here is pretty much, I would say, aligned with she needs to go.
Yes,
she needed to go a long time ago. She needed to go before you made it a criminal offence in your country to tell a joke around your own dinner table.
Agreed, but why? And this is, and we've got to call it Auckland syndrome now, because we can't call it Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah,
you coined that phrase. Yes, I'll give you that 100%. So Auckland syndrome, because Canada re-elected Trudeau during COVID.
Auckland syndrome.
New Zealand re-elected Jacinda during COVID.
Auckland syndrome.
Did Australia re-elect Dan
Andrews?
Dan Andrews during COVID.
Auckland syndrome.
Scotland re-elected Nicola Sturgeon during COVID.
Auckland syndrome.
Yeah. What is it with people? Why can't they see the writing when it's on the wall? They just can't. They are cants.
Look, I'll tell you exactly why. And it is Auckland syndrome. And the reason that you know it is Auckland syndrome is when you talk to somebody in the supermarket, right? And I'm going to try and mince my words here, obviously. But they go, yeah, we know this is all bollocks, but we're just doing it for an easy life. That's Auckland syndrome.
Yeah,
right there.
That on a lot of occasions, that is what happens.
And that's what happened, I would say, 90% of the time when I was speaking to people on the ground.
Things have changed here because at the start, people were saying, oh, she's doing a good job. She's doing well. She's leading the country well. She's putting, she's done a good job. She's kept, and then...
By people, you mean that's the story that the media chose to portray?
Yeah, but people on the ground were saying, oh, no, she's done a good job. Yeah, because they listen to the media. But now people are going, she needs to fucking go. She's a fucking nuisance. She's destroyed the country. She's destroyed industry.
Do you know what? Not only does she need to go, everyone around her needs to go. All of the parties in your so-called parliament need to go. And some of your laws, and I hate to use this word, but some of your laws that have been, the recent ones that have been created especially, need to be purged, need to be cleansed.
And this goes back to my last shout at the sky, was it, about parliament, which was founded in 1707? 1707? Yeah, I mean, over 300 years ago, right?
Yep.
And why are we still making laws? Surely we should have figured out how many laws we needed for the people, because people don't change.
No. What they're doing to you now is very clever. What they've been doing to Western populations is very clever, because they make these new laws by telling you that it's good for you. So what they're doing is they're slowly taking more control of you. They're slowly taking more control of your existence, your life, your thoughts, your finances, and they are going, yeah, but we're doing it for your own good, right? This is all for your own good. Look, this is going to really help you. Going back to smart meters. Oh, it's going to be good for you. It's going to really help you. And what it's actually doing is putting another control mechanism upon you over and over and over again until one day you're going to wake up and you're probably going to have an electronic ankle tag around you and you're going to be allowed to go X, Y, Z far, and that's it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean,
Mm.
it seems to be that they're trying to stop you moving around.
Oh, yeah, and I don't get it because, like, let's look at Hong Kong, for example, right?
Yeah.
Hong Kong are giving away this year 500,000 free airfare tickets to Western countries so that people can come and visit. I'd like to go. I'd like to go and see it. Not while it's under the occupation, and I say that, of the CCP, though.
Love Hong Kong.
But I'd love to get one of those free. I would, under other circumstances, I would have loved to, but I don't want to. The little money that I do have, I
Well,
don't want.
they're
the coffers of
giving
the
people
CCP.
tickets to go and visit Hong Kong.
500,000.
How do you get one?
Well, look it up.
We should do it. We should do it and document it. I mean, I can take you around Hong Kong. I lived there for 2 years.
I know you did, yeah.
Wow. Go to
Yeah,
Aberdeen.
They're giving away
Aberdeen in
half
Hong
a
Kong.
million.
Right.
Yeah, 500,000 tickets.
Oh, cool. I could take you to my old house. Kennedy Road, 48 Kennedy Road. Could take you down to One Chai.
We could go to Hong Kong Disneyland.
We could go to Hong Kong Disneyland. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go to Hong Kong. That'd be cool.
Have
If
to
they're
work out-
paying for it.
Well, they're paying for your airfare.
Oh yeah, that's something. Hong Kong. That would be interesting. That would
So yeah,
do.
that's people watching this. Hong Kong are giving away 500,000 free airfare tickets to Western nations for people to come and visit.
Yeah, Hong Kong's brilliant. Oh,
So,
it used to be brilliant. I don't know what it's like now, but it was.
It's under the
brilliant.
occupation
It was-
of the CCP.
Yeah, I know it's under the occupation of the CCP. It was brilliant under British rule. Absolutely brilliant. It was the days of colony. I loved it.
Oh dear.
What? What? The days of empire. It was one of our last empire posts. It was fantastic. You know, there's a lot to be said for running an empire.
Can't be easy.
Yeah, well, you know, the whole thing's ridiculous. People are so... It's just ridiculous. There's no Uyghur camps in Hong Kong. There's no Uyghurs in Hong Kong.
No, there are no Uyghur camps in Hong Kong. That's true. They're in mainland
That's
China.
true.
They're
Whoa.
in his webcam's died now. Look, his camera's died. So, wouldn't be Chasing Dissent without technical difficulties.
Hello.
Have you put it back on? Is that the same camera? And it's gone.
Oh, it's maybe, I don't know, maybe it's too hot.
I don't know. John, just for the time being.
It's all right. Just calm down, calm down.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I was going to say, just switch over to your other camera for the time being.
There you go. There you go. Switched
There you
over.
go. Good, good.
Don't know what's going on there. That's a bit strange. That's good.
It is. I've just noticed, I'm looking at the show on YouTube and I look fantastic.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I mean, especially now that I've lost my webcam, my good camera. Oh,
I've done a lot of work to make this look good. So I hope it's coming across. I really do. I've done a lot of work. I spent a little bit of money as well. Not a lot of money, but a little bit of money just to up the lighting and light myself up like this. This corner of the building is lit up like a fucking Christmas tree. It is lights. There's spotlights, there's ring lights, there's other lights. I'm just trying to, up the quality.
I've got no lights on whatsoever.
I'm not getting no lights on whatsoever. Look at me. I'm gone and I've got better stuff than you.
I don't. I just have no lights on. I'm just using my monitor to light me. Basically, it's the monitor that lights me up.
And the purple light. You got the purple light on.
Yeah, the purple, but the purple light's behind me. It doesn't like me.
So Luke says, when did you ditch the tinsel? What tinsel?
I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't know what he's talking about either.
If I can move on.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. What are we talking about now?
I don't know. You've got the talking points. This is your baby.
You had it right. Did you, right? I showed you the video of the guy
The guy.
on the train in India, right? I'm not.
Is
gonna
that fake?
No, that one. Why would that be fake? That was real.
I don't know, because he goes up like.
That's
Yeah.
why you don't fuck about on railway lines on top of trains, and you certainly don't touch the live wire, or you don't put your hand out towards the live wire because it will arc.
Do you know
Yeah.
what? I think you're right.
Yeah, I mean, it was drummed into us when they electrified the lines, right? I was in the police, and when they electrified the lines, they drummed it into us: do not fucking run across the railway line,
Oh, yeah,
even
don't
at
do
ground
that.
level, just in case.
Did you know? I know a load of people who used to run around on fucking railway lines, and I used to watch them do it and think, "You're going to get blown up." I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
I
I
used
mean,
to-
it's you don't fuck with that. You do not fuck with it. That guy.
Right,
I mean,
so I will describe the video because they don't know what the fuck you're on
oh
about,
fucking
right?
hell, man.
So there's a train in
Following.
India. A man stands up on top of it. People are shouting at him to stop. To be fair, he reaches up, he grabs the overhead crane, and he just explodes.
Oh yeah, yeah,
On fire, everything.
yeah. There's a big flash, and then he's burning.
Gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
And it didn't need to arc because he actually touched it. What was I going to say? That was in India.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah, did you
India.
see the train?
Mhm.
Because it had ER on it, right?
Yeah.
Like it was a royal train,
God.
right? But then it
I'm
had.
gonna start talking about colony again.
No, I'm just saying it had ER on the carriage, and then it had above it had Indian script.
Okay.
Because well, legacy of empire, old boy, the legacy of empire. That's why we are in the position we're in now, because of the legacy of empire. Because if we hadn't had empire, we wouldn't have had all these people coming towards us.
Bella says it's the amps that kill you, not volts.
Listen, mate. On this occasion, it doesn't matter. The guy exploded. It's like, have you ever seen Flashover where the guy disappears? Oh, you need to watch. Go and have a look on YouTube. Or,
So-
what is it? Flash? What's it called? Flashover or Flash?
Look, I need to address
Anyway,
the chat.
Go and have
I
a
need to
look. Go and have a look for Flashover, because what happens is these guys are mucking about with really high voltage electricity, right? And yeah, it is the amps that kill you, but they're mucking about with really high voltage electricity, and suddenly there's a bang, right, and a huge bright light, and then there's nothing there. Vaporized, yeah, vaporized.
So I do need to address the chat now, right? I do. Because Harold has asked, why did he do it? We can only
No,
speculate, but I'm going to go with he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I think he was a fucking idiot. I'll go
Yeah.
with that.
Probably dared by his mates or something, wasn't he?
Probably.
Trudy thinks suicide, but, you know, I don't want
Possible,
to...
but it's a hell of a way to go.
It is a hell... I mean, it would be quick. I would say that.
Yeah. But, oh, bloody hell.
But yeah, indeed, bloody hell. And, you know, it's not really a topic that I feel is... Actually, let's go there a little bit, because I saw a video from Trudy earlier. And you know what? She's absolutely right. We need to stop stigmatizing suicide. We need to stop calling it cowardice, because it is bravery. It's got to be the bravest thing you'll ever do. Right? It really does.
Well, right. Suicide's a weird one, isn't it? Okay? Because in some respects, you're looking only to yourself.
Yes. But you have to be in so much pain, right?
Yeah, yeah, oh,
have
absolutely.
and you have to feel there's no other way out, and we have to stop stigmatizing it.
Yeah.
She's right.
No,
you
I
know?
mean, yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Because anyone who does it, it's either they've either required help, right?
And
They've got
our
to the
system
point
has
where
failed
it's
them.
never been forthcoming, right?
Mhm.
Or they've determined that that's the course of action they're going to take, and they've just gone for it, right? But I think men are the worst in some respects because we tend to keep things to ourselves and we don't ask for help.
But why do you think the majority of suicides are young men under 40?
Oh yeah, and that's the problem because we keep things to ourselves because men are seen as problem solvers, and you don't just, I mean, it's like women come in and talk to you about things that happened all day, and if men start throwing solutions to them, that's when you get this breakdown in communication, because women aren't looking for solutions, they're just trying to tell you what happened because they just want somebody to listen to them. And as a man, you're hardwired to solve problems because that's what you're supposed to do, because when you're out hunting, all you need to do is solve problems, right?
Right.
Because if you don't solve the problems correctly, you won't catch the prey and you won't be able to take it back and let people eat. So when in old days, when you went back to when you went back with your prey, because you wouldn't go back without one, because if you didn't go back without one, everybody would die anyway. So you go back with your prey and you throw it down, and everybody cooks it up and eats, and we all have a jolly good time. We're all happy, right? Nobody's got any problems. And the women don't need to tell you about what they did with the kids all day, because they're happy, they're eating, the kids are eating, you're happy, you went out, you solved your problems, and everything worked. So nobody has to really communicate to any great degree. But nowadays, what happens is that, am I fading out again? Bloody hell. So nowadays what happens is women go out to work, men go out to work, women come in from work and tell you everything that happened during the day, right? And men try and solve the problem. And if you try and solve the problem, then you will start a disconnect between you and your partner, because they're not looking for problems to be solved. They're just looking for someone to listen. So as a man, what you have to do is go, yeah, that's shocking. And don't offer an answer, because they don't want you. They're not looking for an answer,
But let's double it back to what we were talking about.
And the problem then becomes men keep these things to themselves, right? Because when you go out and you do your stuff and you can't solve the problem because you don't have your peer group around you, right? You don't have an animal to go and catch. So the world is much more complicated than it was, tens of thousands of years ago, or even just thousands of years ago. The world is much more complicated. You can't solve your problems quickly. You can't solve your problems with your peer group. There's no one to talk to about solving your problems that you think, right, will listen. There always are people that will listen, but you personally as a man are hardwired to solve the problem. You can't solve it, and you think, this is an unsolvable problem. I'm fucking useless. What am I going to do? And, that's where you get to. You get to the point, I think, and I think I'm never said I've been suicidal, but I kind of understand where I've been in situations where I've got to points where I'm thinking, how the fuck, the problem here is so hard to solve. How can I solve it? And one of the reasons you think about solving it is, well, if I wasn't here, the problem would be solved, right? But then if you're switched on and sensible and still grounded, you go, right, well, I'm taking that out of the equation. But it's when you're not, when you've got that disconnect, and then you think, well, if I wasn't here, the problem would be solved. Then maybe you go too far.
So
I don't know if that makes sense.
I won't. So the reason me and my wife are together, right, is because we've known each other since we were kids. And when I was 19 years old, I took a large overdose that stopped my heart. I attempted, and I was in a very bad situation. I've spoken about it before. In some respects, I'm still in that situation and will be for the rest of my life, right? But the woman saved me. She did, right? That's not the point. But I do completely understand, because at every turn, and I'll say this, I was being pushed back when I was asking for help, not just with my mental health, but with other situations that were leading to my mental health. I was being pushed back aggressively because I'm a man.
I mean, the thing is, men are meant to be strong, right?
Yeah.
Physically and mentally, right?
Yeah.
And if you're not strong physically and mentally, you're not seen as a man. And there's a certain element of that's correct, you know, to a degree, okay? But you've got to have your moments. But the problem is when you don't have your peer group to support you, and that's where we miss in modern life, because we miss our friends. You know, growing up, you had your friends in high school and whatever, and then you start to separate out as you end up going out with girls, and you lose touch with each other, and you lose your peer group. And when you lose your peer group, it's very, very difficult to function as a solitary male. That's why men tend to congregate together when they get the opportunity. I mean, look at you and me. We don't fucking know each other from Adam, and yet we're now like the best of friends, even though we've only seen each other physically 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, no, he's absolutely right. And Sean asks, may I ask why you felt the need to do that? Now, I have discussed it before, but it was something to do with my oldest child and his mother and things that she did. And that's all I really want to say tonight, okay?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's as simple as that. And I did not have a good peer group at that time. I was very isolated, as you say. I was very isolated. I was living in my own, in a small room above a chip shop, right? And it just got to a point where I couldn't take anymore. I was drinking heavily. I was taking drugs. I'm not ashamed to say these things. I did them, right?
Yeah.
I don't do any of that anymore. I don't drink, really. You know that. I obviously only take the medication I need for my ailments. Other than that, I don't do anything. I pulled myself out of that. I did have a little bit of help after the attempt to take my own life. I begged for help before. Couldn't get it. But after the fact, it came out of the woodwork.
And see, this is the thing, and this is one of the things you actually see, because you see people that attempt, and maybe their first attempt has been genuine, right? And they get a little bit of help, and they think, well, I need help, and nobody's paying attention, so I'll just attempt again, but I know what I'm doing this time, so I'll just attempt. And then they go into this pattern of attempting, you know, so as they can get the attention and the help and the help that they need. And that's wrong. People shouldn't have to do things like that to get help. But
you're absolutely right. And, you know, you're absolutely right, by the way. And it's so sad because there are so many, and I'm going to say young men because this problem majority affects young men. There are so many young men out there not being spoken up for, not being helped in advance, and they're just being pushed, I would say, by the system, maybe by design. I don't know, because there seems to be this absolute fucking hatred of men right now. And let's just say it as it is.
There is,
right?
yeah.
There is. There's this hatred of men right now, and maybe you don't see it, but let's how many abused men's shelters are there in this country, John?
I would say none.
There could be one.
Right.
There could be one. I'm not sure, but I think there's one in the United States.
One, right? Okay, that doesn't compute.
You know, and
the thing is, so as a cop, if you turned up at a domestic dispute, right?
You're trained to look straight at the man, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, it's not even training. It's like you're told.
It's hardwired in here.
Told, basically.
Yeah.
That get the man out of the house.
Oh yeah.
Regardless of who's doing what to who,
Get the man out of the house.
I tell you what, I was at a house party, right?
Well, it got worse because they then changed the law. So if you went to a domestic dispute and someone made an allegation, you lifted the man and you put him in the jail and kept him in the jail to the next lawful court day. So if you left him on Friday night, he stayed there until Monday.
And not only that, if it was the other way round, if the man makes an allegation against a woman, she very rarely gets lifted.
No, she doesn't. It was always
and you know, that is just the reality of the situation. We're not saying that to be sexist or anything like that. Right? And I'll give you a firm example. Like I say, I was at a house party, 100% true story this. A couple of mine and my wife's friends were, I would say, drunk. And she thought he was looking at another woman. She started beating him up. She threw vodka in his eyes, and he was wearing contact lenses, and it got caught behind the contact lens, right? So he's half blinded. The police get called, right? He's been attacked. He's not done anything back. We've witnessed this whole thing. The police get called. We tell the police he didn't do anything. You know, they attack him, they bundle him, they CS gas him, they put him in the cell. They take her to the hospital. And every witness is telling the police she was the one that attacked him. They took her to the hospital. They CS gassed him. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
And we watched it play out. And I've seen it play out over and over again. No, not that exact scenario, obviously.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I know what you mean.
We don't just need to stop this stigmatization against suicide. We need to stop this stigmatization against especially young men.
Yeah.
And we need to give young men purpose. We're giving them no purpose. We're telling them at school that things like being boisterous, and I will say that, right? Things like being boisterous and being a bit rough-handed with one another, you know, and just playing rough is incorrect behavior. That is hardwired behavior. These things are hardwired behavior, and they're being told that their instinctual behavior is not right. And they're being told what they instinctively want to do, how they instinctively want to act is incompatible with societal values. So what you are, who you are, it needs to change. That's what young men are being told this very moment in schools up and down the country. Young boys are being told that.
Yep. Yeah, you're right.
I am right. And it's wrong. You know, yes, people shouldn't roughhouse one another and people shouldn't hurt one another and things like that. But there are certain ways and means that boys could be given the opportunity to get that out. Give them a boxing class. Give them a punch bag, something like that. They don't do that. They just tell them their behaviour's wrong.
Yeah.
Give them an outlet to exert that. Well, they don't do that. Sean says, lads love scrapping. It's part of childhood. I used to love a good scrap.
Yeah, but
right.
Yeah, well, that's boys and girls are different, you know.
Trudy says Benjamin respected women, and I don't doubt it. He sounds like he was a lovely young man. He does, you know, and you know, his best friend. I know. I keep an eye on the situation. His best friend was a young woman, and she appeared to adore him. So I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it for 1 minute. But as a young man, unfortunately, and it's the hard truth, I don't think the help was there for him that should have been. And you got a mash of reasons for that. You got the lockdowns. They took away the help from everybody. The lockdowns were probably a big root cause of his issues.
The lockdowns were a universally wrong decision.
Oh, you've got that right. You've got that right. Do you know the amount of lives we can only talk.
No, I know we can only speculate, but they've been so wrong. I mean, I know people that have committed suicide as a result of it as well, and it is completely out of order. It was whenever did we quarantine a healthy population? Never. You don't do that. You never do that. It's not even that. It wasn't in the playbook. It wasn't there. It shouldn't have been used. It's crazy. Crazy. It was just absolute madness. And so many mistakes were made, and you know what? We will not learn from them. That's the problem.
We don't learn from history. We don't learn from history.
We don't.
We don't.
All we do is we look back at history and go, oh, look at the fucking stupid people there. And then we go and do exactly the same thing.
Might dress it up in some other form.
Yeah.
But we do the same thing.
But we do exactly the same thing. Yep. I mean, we look back at what people did in the Spanish flu. We look back at what people did in the 1800s and the bubonic plague and all that, and we laugh at them, and then we go and do the same bloody thing. And you know what? In 50 years' time, people will look back at this and go, oh, look at those idiots, what they did then, and then they'll go and do exactly the same thing. Because we don't learn. We are an inherently stupid species.
I can't disagree. I honestly, I can't disagree.
No, what this was not unprecedented. This, if you look back at how things have gone over the years, this was entirely foreseeable. And people have been foreseeing this for years. They've been foreseeing this exact thing happening, and they've been telling us it's going to happen, and it went and happened. So it wasn't unprecedented.
And with that, with less than 10 minutes left of the show, let's try and bring the mood up, shall we, John?
Yeah. How can we? I've got nothing. What have I got left?
You must have something.
I've got stuff left. I mean, there's fractional reserve banking again. I wanted to go into that, but yeah, I'm not going to do that tonight. No, we don't have time for that because it's quite detailed.
What I will say is this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, because I know a fair few of you have come over this evening from seeing us keep appearing on Rise Brand YouTube with Sonia Poulton and sometimes Sonia Poulton and Sean Ward. And boy, have we got a treat for you, haven't we, John?
Well, we'll be there on Monday, won't we?
With both Sonia and Sean at 7:30 in the morning. Yes, we will. We will be there to count down and review and laugh. And she keeps having us back, John. She must like us.
Yeah. Well, I think she does like, because she sent us a cup.
She did send us a cup.
Let's have a quick look through this. Right, the Daily Mail have come out with an absolute no-brainer, haven't they? Right, and they call it an exclusive because, and this is wrong because I'm pretty sure this has been mentioned before. Now they've got it down as updated the 2nd of February 2023, right? Okay, but they're calling it an exclusive. Unattractive people are more likely to keep wearing face masks in post-COVID era. Study suggests. No shit.
I think they were the most likely to wear them during.
Unattractive people. Unattractive people love face masks. That's why I never wore one. Because I'm not unattractive.
Let's face it. When you can only see that and they're giving you an alluring look.
It's like some of those Arab women, in the hijabs, you think, oh man, they look really sexy. And then when you see the face, it's like, whoa, holy shit, Miss Piggy,
He's been very derogatory tonight, hasn't he?
No, I haven't. No.
I mean, remember, Johnny's of a different era, right?
I'm off in the era when you called a spade a spade.
Oh dear, but no, you're absolutely right. And if you're coming to watch this show...
Oh, right. Let's finish on your new DC superhero. We never brought that up. That was one of yours. Tell me about him.
It wasn't one of mine. It was not one of. I've not read it.
What do you mean you've not read it? I thought you would have read it. Yeah, you're the fucking superhero comic book nerd guy.
I do know that they're giving us a trans superhero, yes.
Yeah. What's his superpower?
I don't know.
What the fuck? Why do we need a trans anything?
Well, you know what? Actually, I'm going to give DC credit where credit is due here.
What?
Right? Because they are creating a brand new superhero that is trans, because the trans people or the trans population would like to see representation of themselves within comic books and superheroes. I have absolutely no issue with this.
So,
And do you know what?
hold on a minute. Hold on there, Bald Eagle. Right. So you're quite happy for something like 0.01 or 0.06% of the population to be represented in mainstream comic book heroism?
Who said anything about mainstream comic book heroism? This comic won't sell. Right. It won't sell. Captain Marvel doesn't sell as a comic book. It did well as a movie because
Who the hell's Captain Marvel anyway?
Exactly. Anyway, this comic book won't sell. It will sell. It might sell a bumper lot on its first run because the wokies will want to show up for the representation. It won't sell.
Right.
Let's just say that. Anyhow, I will give them credit where credit is due. If you let me finish my point, they're creating a brand new superhero. Yeah, fine, do that. It's when they take an existing superhero and change that superhero for representation that pisses me off. You know, and people turn around and go, well, if you don't like it, make your own. They're making their own.
Okay, fair dues.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
It doesn't bother me. It really doesn't. And I know that might shock some people. It doesn't, you know, they're doing exactly what people keep asking them to do. Make something new rather than bastardizing something else. You know, like gender swapping, race swapping, all of this stuff is done simply for shock value. It's not done to create a good story. It's not done to create a cohesive character or anything like that. It is simply done for the controversy, for the clout, because they want people to blow up about it. So leave the characters that were as they were. Not just comic books, but movies, films, things like that.
I'll give you that.
Why did Channel 5 make a Black Anne Boleyn? If
I don't know.
The only reason could have been for clout, for shock value, for controversy. I mean, she's a real person.
Yeah, I know, and she wasn't black.
Exactly. So they must have only done it to try and create an uproar, create a controversy.
Yeah.
It's the only reason they could have done it. Right? What we've got to do is we've got to stop falling for this shit. It's like the Black Little Mermaid. Why have they made a Black Little Mermaid? Right? Let's take away the fact that they go, oh, she's a mermaid. She can be any color. Absolutely true. Don't care. But why not, if they wanted to create a story, just have a black mermaid that's not Ariel?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
Don't call her Ariel.
Yeah.
Right? Call her something else. Give her practically the same storyline if you'd like. That doesn't matter. But what they did was they create. Trudy says Black Annie. Why did they? You know,
Black Annie.
Oh yeah, they made Annie black in a movie. Annie's a ginger girl, right?
A ginger white girl with freckles.
Yeah.
And they made her Meghan Markle.
I've got. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, right. I think we'll put on a show for the night. I think that's it.
I think that's it too. And my trigger finger is itchy. So, Adam, Vaughan.
Oh. Oh, so with that, I'd like to thank everyone for attending this episode 18.
Mm-hmm.
18, believe it or not.
18 weeks we've been doing this for.
18 off. All in. That's been great. For you.
You can see the writing on the pavement. Young kids, they're growing up in basements. Online, a whole new generation. I'ma make mine, so you better go take it. Always, they need a new replacement. Decentralized, can't contain it. We're changing lives, yeah, upgrading. Call it suicide of the older generation. Too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah.